Every single one of you's a bit Jesus.
What a wild ride this has been. Well, that's a very blunt question.
That's all coming up on tonight's National Nightly News.
Hi, David, I have a call for you. I'm just putting it through. All right, mate. Dave here. Listen, I know you've only come in to clean up the place, but I've got a bit caught up, so you're going to have to run the news tonight. Now, don't worry, it's not hard, and I'm going to stay on the phone and help you. First, I'm going to give you a quick tour of the broadcast room, so if you're not doing it already, look forwards towards all those screens. Right, look up at the top. That coloured bar is your audience. You want to keep the viewers going up and not down. Underneath that, you've got the screens. The one on the right is the broadcast screen. That's what the viewers are seeing at home. It's only a couple of seconds behind the master screen there in the middle. That's the one you control. Now, the four small screens on the left show the different signals coming from the studio, and you can choose between them using the numbered buttons on the vision mixer at the bottom left. Don't worry, I'll talk you through it and you'll pick it up in no time. Now, have a look to your left. These plugs control everything in the studio. I've left them set up for you, so provided you haven't fiddled with them, all you have to do now is throw the master trip switch and we're in business. Once you've got the power on, face the front again. You can see on the broadcast screen that we're in the end titles for the show before us. Fortunately, they go on for fucking ages, so there's plenty of time for me to explain. Oh, right, okay, they're over, so we haven't got long now till the broadcast. Right, quickly, mate, look down under the desk. You can see a load of videotapes on the left. They're your adverts. Pick any three and load them into the machines on the right. When you've done that, look up to the front again. Right, the tapes are loaded and we're all ready for when we get to the first ad break. That's great. Any second now, you should be getting a signal through from the studio. Stay on your toes, mate. It's election night, so all eyes are on this room. We do not want to get fired.
At 9 p.m, sit back and relax with multiple award-winning movie, The Freedom.
When you get the signal, select screen 1 with the vision mixer and we're ready to go.
Prawn and mayonnaise?
You know, seafood makes me come out in pustules.
Yeah, I thought it might increase our viewing figures.
Every day. You offer me prawns every day.
10 seconds, everybody. That's how I show love.
You're trying to kill me.
And yet you persist. Going in 5, 4.
But now, it's time to join Jeremy Donaldson.
Good evening, I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main stories tonight.
Okay, we're all good. Next is going to be the throw to the news titles on screen 2. There'll be a countdown, but I'll count you in as well. Just relax, mate. It's all gravy.
Buys Honest Andy's Totally Independent and corners the flowered market. Top chat. Sports fans everywhere. Celebrate as popular. Johnny Hamsleys wins Sports Personality of the Year. And a spoonful of sugar. Megan will be chatting with movie star Lawrence Blunderclatch about his new movie, The Medicated. And, of course, we'll be going live to Advance headquarters to hear what the leaders of this fledgling party have to say on their historic...
Right, button 2 in 3, 2, 1. Lovely, mate. Next thing is the throwback to Jeremy with button 1 when that globe in the middle shrinks down and vanishes. Here it comes. Switch to screen 1. Lovely, mate.
But first, the votes are in and it's a decisive win for Advance.
We often get a bit of interference around this time, mate. Keep your eye on that machine at the bottom right and use the slider that's flashing there to move the wave up and down, keeping the green bit in the white bit.
But critics have accused him of a severe lack of actual policies and of being deliberately vague. The opposition parties have all conceded defeat to Advance's overwhelming mandate, but have yet to appear publicly. However, former Home Secretary...
Right, it's going well. All you've got to do now is play the advert at the end of the segment. Make sure you don't play it too early or we'll all get fired. Now, the clock at the top is counting you down to the advert. When it reaches 0, press one of the 3 play ad buttons over there at the bottom right. I normally play the first one at the first break and so on, but you can play them in any order you want. I'll count you into it as well, but keep your eye on the clock.
To hear the co-leader's acceptance speech.
And 3, 2, 1, advert.
1 minute back, everybody. Jeremy, I need you to fill after the ads.
What? Why?
Wanker Snatch is running late.
Sofa and chair deal. It's a steal.
Personnel will
Crazy
try to
deal.
confuse
We
them
don't
with
care if you've been naughty or nice. We got green sofas, red
I
sofas,
thought that was our
brown
little
cushions.
secret.
Cushions, you've got a grey sofa. We've got a grey
I'm
sofa.
deeply
In
uncomfortable
grey,
with your
a
burgeoning
brown, a pink, a
Yeah.
yellow, a purple. Neil's deals are unreal.
Wicked. We made it to the first ad break. You're doing great, mate. But this is where it starts getting a bit trickier. This next sequence is what we call a multicam sequence, because you're going to be cutting between multiple cameras to keep things interesting. A lot of it's down to personal taste, but here's 3 good rules of thumb. 1. Try and keep the shot on whoever is doing the talking. 2. Don't stay on the same shot for too long. 10 seconds at the most. So if you're on the person who's talking, try and throw in the odd reaction shot or pull out to the wide shot for a bit just to keep it interesting. 3. Don't stay on reaction shots for too long. A couple of seconds is usually enough. Then the audience want to see who's doing the talking, yeah? Stick to these rules and you'll be fine. It's not as complicated as it sounds. You've seen programs on television, haven't you? Make it look like those. Might as well get screen 1 selected now. No need to wait for the broadcast to start. Try and stay ahead, mate.
Crazy Neil's got crazy deals. You want
We're
a
coming
toilet?
back from the
We
break.
can do you a toilet.
Quiet
We can do
in
you a
the
toilet
studio.
next to a chair. We can do you a chair next to a
Thank
toilet.
you so
Hey, we
much.
can even do you a toilet chair. So you
10
come on
seconds,
down,
everybody.
you bring your ass. We've got it, you want it. You want it, we've got it, you want it. You pay us. You want it, we've got it, you want it. You want it, we've got it, you pay us.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. Welcome back to
Later
the National
we'll be
Nightly
hearing from
News. Shock election winners.
Later we'll be
Advance.
hearing from
But
Shock
first
Get
off,
ready to go to Megan on screen 4.
is here with the star of
Megan
both
Wolf.
stage and
Is here
screen.
with the star of both
Megan?
stage and
Thank
screen.
you, Jeremy. Megan
Megan?
Wolf, culture
Thank you,
correspondent.
Jeremy.
And
Megan
today
Wolf,
I have a
culture
guest who
correspondent.
starred in
And today
everything
I
from
have a guest
Shakespeare
who
Right,
to
go
the
to Blunderclatch on screen 3 when she says his
joined
name.
today by none other than Lawrence Blunderclatch.
by
Thank you
none
so
other than
much for coming on.
Lawrence
Oh, my
Blunderclatch.
dear.
So much
I
for
do
coming on.
hope you believe me when I tell you. I do hope that being with you here today is among
Switch to 2 for the wide now.
May I say, having you here with us is among ours. May I say.
Right, now just try and stay on whoever's talking.
Latest movie, which is called The Medicated.
The Medicated. Yes.
Wow, what was that like?
Yes. Well, as I said to Peter at the Rat, that's Peter Jensen, the director.
Give us a look at Megan's reaction.
He's a wonderful chap. He really is. He's a wonderful chap. I've worked with him on several movies, all terribly successful. I said to Peter,
No? Alright then.
"What a wild ride this has been. What a wild ride this has been." I really meant that.
Wow, that is fantastic. And am I right in saying that the character you play in this movie is quite an academic one?
Absolutely right. A scientist. Absolutely
Was that
right.
a challenge
A
at all?
scientist. What exactly are you implying? But seriously, yes, you're right. It was a complete departure from my last starring role when I played Sergeant Brock Rockman in Bullet Man. You'll remember that was the true story of one soldier's fight for a love that surpasses all others. A love, of course, for freedom. I think it's grossed over $1 billion, but honestly, who's counting?
It's a role that saw you scoop 2 Best Actor awards, if I remember correctly.
It's so sweet of you to mention it, but I really am not in it for the awards, although those 3 little statues do take pride of place on my mantelpiece.
With all the others, I'm sure. So, if you're not doing it for the awards, what is it then that drives you?
That is a beautiful question, Megan, and not easy to answer. Like you, I'm afraid. Cut me, and I will bleed. And often, that's how it feels, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Bleeding, doesn't it? Giving, suffering for one's audience. I suppose in the end, I do it for the difference it makes. I do it for the people that I inspire. The little people. But most of all, I think I do it for the positive change that I can bring about in the world.
And today, of course, we're in for some real change, it looks like, in the coming few months. What do you make of this historic election?
Been on that shot a bit long.
Oh, well. Well, now you're asking. Historic election result. Indeed. Historic is the word. Well, difficult, isn't it? Very difficult. But, I think I've always been quite clear that when it comes to politics, that one should always strive to not fuck things up.
Shit, he swore. Oh, don't worry, he won't do it again. Shit, he did it again. Okay, don't panic. I'll explain how to deal with swearing at the break.
Medicated, which opens next week.
Right, they've swapped the shot of Jeremy on screen 1 for a VT of the movie clip. You'll get a countdown on the screen, but I'll just let Megan cue you in.
My character, Dr. Lance Hemlock, is faced with a decision that could affect humanity's very survival.
Exciting stuff. Let's take a look.
Cool, looks like Blunderclatch is losing it in the studio, but we ain't got time for that. There's more interference coming. It's a bit trickier this time, mate. Use that little flashing joystick to the left of the slider, and as the frequency changes, match it to the white bit by gently pushing the stick to the right.
It's not your fault.
You think I don't know that?
Now we're going to squash the frequency back by dragging left.
Nolans, we mustn't.
That's Dr. Lance to you, Miss Flanagan.
Jubbly, mate.
For you, baby.
Next, we're going to change the amplitude. Same as last time, but this time, move the joystick up. Upwards, mate, upwards.
Told me, but I didn't listen.
Doctor,
I'm drowning, Lance, she said.
you need to see this.
No, it's not.
Right, now let's match it back by going downwards.
The virus. The sterility. This formula. This is the key.
We can stop it all.
Yes.
Bloody perfect, mate.
We have to ask ourselves.
At the end of the clip, you'll want to play another ad. Remember to use the clock at the top to count you in. Right, I guess I better explain how to deal with bleeping out swear words. As you've probably noticed, the broadcast screen, here, is about 2 seconds behind the master screen, here. When someone says a naughty word, the bleep button lights up, like this. 2 seconds later, you'll hear that swear word going out on the broadcast, and you need to hold down the censor button for as long as the swear word lasts. It can take a bit of practice getting used to hearing 2 things at once. Just stay calm and you'll get it. And if you can't tell when to bleep, just above the button, you'll literally be able to see the sound scrolling by. All you gotta do is hold it down while the red bit is over the red line. Simple. Of course, if you do it by eye, you'll have to take your eye off the screens. That's why real professionals do it by ear. Most people like to have the volume of the broadcast screen a little bit below the master screen. Let's set it now. As you turn it up, you'll hear the advert getting louder. Good. You're set to start censoring. Like I say, it takes a little practice, but I'll try and help you through it, and soon we'll have you bleeping like a pro. Remember, button lights up, count 1, 2, and hold it down.
Crouton display case, free. That's right, absolutely.
Remember to select screen 1 now that you've got the feed. Don't wait for the broadcast to go live, that's too late. You can use the vision mixing buttons on the left to select the screen you want.
Seriously?
That works. 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. And I'm told we can now go live to Advance Headquarters, where the two leaders, Peter Clement and Julia Salisbury, are about to make their acceptance address.
Cut to the outside broadcast. Oh shit, he's pissed.
Start?
Get ready to bleep.
Well, thank you all for coming. And, well, thank you all for coming. Where do I start? Well, what a day.
They said we couldn't do it. They said we couldn't do it. Every dirty, low-down, lying, southern bastard trick they had against southern trick they had against
Nice.
You saw right through there, Shaq.
I'm sorry about the language there.
Sorry about that.
I've had a
couple of celebrations.
Sorry
about that. I've had a couple of celebrations.
Coarser than the grown is funny. Coarser than the grown.
Memorably put. But to be honest, who can blame Peter for celebrating? Throughout the campaign, you've heard us say that Advance are not a political party. A party is what you have when things are going well. A party is what you have when the country is suffering. You don't need a party. When the country is suffering, you need a team. A team that can change things. A team that can change. But today is day one of a new future. A better, fairer future. So perhaps we should all be celebrating.
Except for the rich. For them the party's over. They shouldn't be celebrating. They should be putting their shitting pants on and opening their dusty checkbook.
Again, colourfully put. Again, colourfully put. But before we came out here to address the nation, we used our executive powers to pass the Assets and Wealth Act. Working with the tax office, we have produced a definitive list of every person in the country with wealth.
Remember the 10-second rule.
Because the likes of you and me are not welcome in their gated community.
Tomorrow we will be introducing a sweeping reform of the tax system in this country. No more hiding wealth offshore, no more hiding wealth funds or creative accounting, a simpler, fairer, unavoidable set of tax laws.
So all you bastard public school snobs have got nowhere to hide. I've got nowhere to hide. We revoked your passport. We revoked your passport. You want to leave like you threatened before the election. That's fine. Before the election. That's fine.
You're going to pay first. You're going to pay back.
Advance are going to turn this country from a nation of warring individuals into warring individuals to properly fund health and education, to raise the living standards of us all.
The pundits said we'd have to raise billions. But you'll see when we've reclaimed what's ours, that's absolute. So to you posh twats,
the people who pay your pittance to serve them drinks in their private clubs, the people whose children you raise.
So they've got time to get even fucking richer.
Advance have this to say to you. Advance have this to say to you. We are coming for your sports cars and your mansions and your vineyards. We will put the wealth of this country back where it should have always been. In the hands of the people who created it. In the hands of the people who created it.
Today.
Yes. It ends today. It ends and tomorrow today. We'll start making it fair again. We'll start making it like we promised we would.
And until then, ladies and gents, I suggest we all get pissed.
I can't argue with that. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your time.
Well, an interesting acceptance speech there from the leaders of Advance. And our apologies for the fruity language. And our apologies for the fruity language. Hopefully we got that bleeped out for you in time. Hopefully we got that bleeped out for you in time. Someone's going to be in trouble. If not, someone's going to be in trouble. So, as the country braces itself for new government, that's all from us this evening at the National Nightly News. We'll be back tomorrow with full coverage of the first day under Advance. I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Have a peaceful Jeremy Donaldson.
Right, looks like you've got it now. Thanks for all the help, mate. I've got to go. Ferry's about to leave. Probably won't be coming back. Job's yours, mate. Good luck.
This is not boring politics, then. This is some weird fever dream, and I'm dying now or something.
You should be so lucky. I'll see you tomorrow night.
You're not coming for a drink?
No, got a date.
Lucky you. Try not to get murdered.
When the programme's finished, you'll get a broadcast report. It's 3 pages. This first page shows you how well the broadcast went. Each sequence and an overall grade. Remember, grades mean bonuses, and they keep the boss happy. If you want to know more about how it went, select more info. If not, select continue to move to the next page. Right, this is an optional section for when you really want to understand what happened during the show. You got a graph there showing you what the audience did. They're a fickle fucking bunch. And of course you can really drill into the details if you want to get better at making TV. I never came here, never once. Right, this is the important page. It tells you how much you're going to get paid and how much wealth you have overall. That bollocks at the bottom shows you the financial state of our main advertisers. But you don't own any fucking shares, you're a cleaner for God's sake, so why would you care? This is the last page and it tells you the state of the world, tells you how well the government's doing, and down the bottom there, this one's important, tells you what Channel 1 currently thinks of you. In other words, what the boss thinks. Alright mate, welcome to the archive. This is where you can have a quick look back at what you've done and how it looked to the public. There's 3 sections: broadcast, rushes and adverts. Let's start with broadcast. Pop in there now. Over on the left, that's all the broadcasts that you've done. Choose any one of them and select load tape. Once it's finished loading, you can use the rewind and the fast forward at the bottom there to help you get to the bit you want to see.
Well, in a few moments, we'll be going live to tonight's National Nightly News. But before that, let's take a look at what's
coming up later on tonight on Channel 1. At 7 o'clock, it's the semi-final of the quotation game.
Listen.
Now biting quiz. At 8 p.m. by
Top chat.
Right, now let's take a look at the rushes. Right, this is the rushes room. It's pretty
These aren't my cards. Please tell. These aren't my cards. Please tell me these aren't my cards.
No, they're the right ones, apparently.
Oh, but this gives me nothing, Jenny. They must see that.
my guests. First of all, let's get the power on. You need to get at least the bottom 4 plugs on. Right, let's load up the adverts. You might want to have a bit of a think about it. Your decisions have consequences, don't they? Right, you can see they finally got the old headline system up and working again, and the Vision Mixer's already in headline mode because headlines always come at the start. It's really simple, mate. These 2 buttons at the bottom of the Vision Mixer, you can see they now have A and B. On them, and they're to help you pick image A on the left bottom screen here, or image B on the right bottom screen here. It's really simple. This little clock here will count down the number of seconds you have to make your decision. Provided you make a decision in that time, you're fine, and you can change your mind as much as you want until the clock reaches 0. But if you don't make any decision, you'll be fired before you even get to make another choice. I just want to say one more thing, mate. The pictures you choose to show of these people, well, that's how the public is going to perceive them, and that's going to affect their lives. So like with the adverts, choose carefully.
No,
and we're off. Good luck, mate. If I get time, I'll call you back in the next break. Yeah, I'm coming, darling.
My friend Janet says theirs gets really hot.
Is this Janet who thinks dogs have their own secret language?
Yeah, the one that mistrusts the moon. 10 seconds, everybody.
Not the best source of consumer advice, then.
Don't blame me when it explodes. Going in 5, 4, 3.
Good evening, I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main headlines tonight. Destination unknown. At the end of Advance's first full week in office, we ask exactly who's leading this charge. Tonight, I'll be discussing what the new future might hold with a leading... economist and radical free thinker. With the Assets and Wealth Act on the brink of raising living standards for the vast majority of the country, I'll be asking my guests if we're on the way to a new future. Out with the old, Remington's Fist have appointed Sophia Remington as their new CEO. The following photo, taken from our archive, gives us a sense of this influential young firebrand who, at the tender age of 23, becomes the youngest female CEO in history. Sophia Remington has always impressed. She was top of her class at university and graduated with the highest honours, immediately being asked back to lecture. The markets have responded favourably to Sophia's appointment, with stocks rising 30 points in light of the announcement. In her first press conference this afternoon, Sophia announced a children's toy named Mr. Snugglehearts. Sophia promises it will be all the rage this Christmas, but concerns have been raised about the product's safety. Making a splash. Intrepid scientist Dr. David Wong and marine biologist Ingrid Swarsborgen-Horgensford have today set off to explore Dante's Taint. The recently discovered cave system was previously thought unreachable, but thanks to a new breakthrough in underwater flower technology, the pair hope to successfully reach the imposing central cavern and the undiscovered plant species it contains. This is, of course, only the latest in a series of successful expeditions for this unlikely pairing. In a joint statement about the dangers their team might face, the pair stated, "We will face the plentiful challenges together, like we always have. Playing the field. Rumours about the sporting legend Johnny Hansleaves is not leaving Bush, one of the capital's hottest clubs. The footballer was caught while out celebrating being named Sports Personality of the Year last week, as reported by this very program. And judging from the angle and velocity of that spray, it looks like Johnny may have been celebrating a little bit too much. I certainly wouldn't want to be his dry cleaner. And grievous bodily charm. And with advanced promising a radical new position on crime, how afraid should we actually be? I'll be going live around the country to talk with people who've seen the criminal justice system from every perspective, with more and more powers passing to the police, and less oversight. Are we using an advanced-shaped sledgehammer to crack a nut? Or perhaps a mega move for a group of young actors already experiencing the positive side of the new Assets and Wealth Act firsthand. They'll be talking and performing later. That's all coming up on tonight's National Nightly News. In the wake of the government's swift enactment of the Assets and Wealth Act, we're talking about Advance's first week in office and what the new future holds. Joining me are Katie Brightman, a leading economist, and Alan James, a leading economist. Alan James is right. The free man's guide to waking up. The government certainly haven't dragged their heels on delivering some of the legislation they promised. But what does the Wealth Act mean for us?
Nothing, Jeremy. We're still vassal slaves. We're just in prettier cages.
Confident dismissal there. Katie Brightman, do you agree?
I'm afraid I don't.
Katie Brightman, do you agree?
I think that Advance have realised that the current economic system of unlimited, unending growth is untenable, so they're changing things up.
There I agree with you. They're moving to the next steps in the grand plan.
Grand plan, Alan.
It's all in my book. Alan James is right. It's all in my book, Jeremy. Alan James is right. We're to become the great herd. Ignorant, sterile, and short-lived. That's what they want.
Or perhaps Advance have just realised that if we carry on the way we are, we will destroy ourselves and this planet in a mad orgy of consumption. If you'll excuse the colourful metaphor.
Yes, orgy is the right word. Yes, only it'll be the overlords having an orgy on our poor broken backs. It's all in my book. Alan James is
shamelessly self-promoting. Shamelessly self-promoting. How do you think the rest of the world will respond to this new approach?
I think they're watching carefully. Advance are the most disruptive threat that the world's powers have faced since the last Great War.
Yes, Katie's right. War is inevitable.
Thank you, but that isn't.
And this will not be a war like we've ever seen before. This will not be a war like millions of deaths. We're talking high-tech weapons that can level entire cities. We're talking level entire cities. Mock me all you like, Jeremy, but when they murder your parents and they poison your food and they take you away to their camp for hypno-brainwashing, you'll be laughing then.
That might be a great way to sell books, Alan, but you know full well that isn't going to happen in a democracy.
Democracy is dead.
Yes, Advance are radical, and change is always frightening, but the truth is that the Wealth and Assets Act has made more than 90% of the population wealthier and is on target to produce a permanent end to poverty.
What this young lady doesn't understand, Jeremy, is that these are the... same people, Jeremy, is that these are the maybe they've rebranded, but it's all a little circus act to keep us from seeing the tyrant behind the curtain.
That's where you're wrong, Alan. For a start, they've mobilised the youth vote like we've never seen before.
You say mobilise, I call it, you say mobilise. The grooming of an entire generation, the grooming of an entire generation into eternal bondage. Happily into eternal bondage.
But based on the facts, Katie, what are your based on the facts?
The Assets and Wealth Act is only the first step. Advance now have a historic budgetary surplus. And as well as properly funding our public services, they're already funding unprecedented amounts into scientific research in the arts.
Or, as I call them in my book, or as I call them in my book, opiates. Franken-science and opiates. Like opiates. See?
Can we get back to the issue at
opiates.
hand,
See?
please, Ellen? Can we
This
get back to
is
the issue
the
at
issue.
hand, please, Ellen?
It's all coming from the water, the chemicals. It's all coming from the
pumping
water,
it full of
the chemicals
belief
juice.
Don't
Pumping
get
it
me
full
wrong.
of
I want to see
juice.
these changes, but only if they're sustainable. If advance lose their power after spending half of our GDP on dismantling infrastructure, that could be catastrophic.
The catastrophe is that they're succeeding. They've got us sat here talking about their puppet show.
All right, we're running out of time. Quickly, Alan. All right, we're running out of time. What does the future look like to you, Alan?
A bleak space where we've all been figuratively sodomized into submission. Into submission.
We might be on the eve of a brave new world. We might be on the eve of a brave new world. God knows we need some change, but we need to be cautious. God knows we need some change, but we need to be cautious. Let's walk
Two
forward
very
with our
different
eyes
visions of the future there.
Two very
Alan
different
James,
visions of the
Katie
future
Brightman,
there.
thank you for joining me.
Katie Brightman,
When we come back,
thank you for joining
I'll
me.
be investigating
When we
law
come
and
back,
order. Before
I'll be
Megan meets some
investigating law and
beneficiaries
order.
of the
Before
Assets and
Megan
Wealth
meets
Act.
some beneficiaries
That's all
of the
coming up
Assets and
tonight
Wealth Act.
on the
That's all
National
coming up
Nightly News.
1 minute back.
You know, I think they might do some good.
I hope so too, Jeremy.
How much are you being paid by them then?
Shut the fuck up, Alan. I've never heard so much shit in my life.
Well, we'll see you swallow shit, won't we?
Alan, I can explain it to you, but unfortunately I can't understand it for you.
Well, I don't know what she meant by that.
And his incredible real-action eyes.
Alright, mate, Christ, I'm absolutely fucking flying, I tell you. How's it going, actually? Fuck it, I don't care, I hate the fucking news. Oh, bloody hell, I love this tune, though. Alright, mate, see you later, bye!
I'm just saying, would you like to come, that's all.
I just bet you will. She's good. You know she is.
Said I put a word in, that's all I can do.
10 seconds, everybody. His little jinky's going to the big bang punch of the water.
If that sticks, I'll destroy
5,
you.
4, 3.
Welcome back. In our second segment, we're going to be taking a deep dive into the state of law and order in our country. Advance have already tasked what they are calling a solutions team to move this serious social problem to the top of the list. Tonight, we go behind the headlines to meet the people who live with the criminal justice system every day of their lives. First up, we have Gregory Judge, a lawyer who sees the problems close up on the front line. Can you hear me, Gregory? Can you hear me, Gregory?
I've got you, Jeremy. Thanks for having me.
What's it like on the front line of the hard face of the cold hand of justice?
Well, as you can imagine, Jeremy, we are massively understaffed in this country. We're working every hour we can just to try and cope with the caseloads on our desk.
Which must affect the quality of support you can offer.
We can barely keep up with demand, Jeremy. There simply isn't enough being done at a systemic level to relieve the problems. We need more support from ministers. We need more support from ministers. We need change at a structural level, Jeremy. At a structural level. Time, darling.
It never is it? I'll be at my mother's.
It never is it? Just hang on. Just hang. No, the problem isn't a local one, Jeremy. It's nationwide. Just Jeremy, it's nationwide. Jeremy,
Oh, haven't you mentioned your affairs?
No.
Oh, haven't you mentioned your affairs?
Well, the affairs of the Justice Department that we should be concerned about.
Hello, Mr. Donaldson.
Hello, Mrs. Judge.
Hello, Mr.
We
Donaldson.
need.
Hello, Mrs. Judge.
We need legislation to relieve the pressure on our public service.
Sorry to interrupt the news, Mr. Donaldson. Can I have a moment to tell my husband I'm leaving? Can I have a moment to
Yes,
tell my
I
husband I'm leaving?
totally understand. Yes. Quite the picture of a burdened legal sector there. Gregory Judge, thank you for joining us. Gregory Judge. Next, I'm joined by Police Chief Constable Bob Peel, a man with a very different perspective on our nation's crime. Do you think there's a problem with the system, Bob? Do you think there's a problem?
I'm sure we all do, Jeremy. I'm sure we all long for a return to the days when you could safely walk the streets of your community at night, looking in through windows and generally enjoying your neighbours without the risk of being terrorised by some thug with a knife or cop.
So you feel the streets simply aren't safe anymore?
Well, that's not a simple question, Jeremy, but I think it all comes down to moral decay. We've diluted our culture and lost touch with what it means to be a citizen of this once great country. Also, as the vicar noted in Sunday's sermon, we probably shouldn't have banned hanging.
And to what do you attribute this moral decay?
Foreigners, gays and gypsies mainly. It's all in the Bible. Look, Leviticus clearly states that... Oh, hang on a moment. Jeremy, your bloody gimp's escaped. Delia, could you give me a little help, please, dear? Delia, could you give me a little help, please, dear? As I was saying, Jesus didn't like immigrants much, did he?
And just to be clear, you think it's the immigrants who are responsible for the moral decay?
Absolutely, Jeremy. Back in your box, Clive. Back in your box. Delia, I really could use a little help with this.
Sorry, darling, I was saying the batters.
Yes, I'm talking to Jeremy Donaldson. Clive, can you put him back to Jeremy Donaldson? Clive, can you put him back?
And who's responsible for you to make a change, Bob?
Well, it is certainly not the responsibility to be decent, good, white people. Listen, good, white people.
Hold on just a moment. Hold on just a moment.
Clive, this simply won't do.
Clive, I am not having this again. Clive, I am not having this again. As I was saying, Jeremy, moral decay. Crime is the responsibility of the criminal. No one else. Responsibility of the criminal. Everyone has a sob story, but we don't all end up as barbarians, do we? Look, when our daughter Alice comes home with an A-, does she go on Killing Spree? No, she takes 3 of the pills and hides under the stairs like a normal child.
Thank you, Bob.
Like a normal
Bob
child.
Hill there. Thank you, Bob. We're locking down the police's position on morality. We're locking down the police's position on morality. And finally tonight, hopefully uninterrupted, it's time to get to the heart of the matter. It's time to get to the heart of the matter. Has recently been released from prison. Tony Dawson, after serving 3 years for aggravated assault, burglary, and menacing assault. He's agreed to talk to us today, which is also, I believe, his birthday. Which is also, I believe, many happy returns, Tony. Many happy returns, Tony.
Call me Titwank, Tony. Everybody else does.
No, I'm not going to be doing that.
Everybody else does.
Can you tell us what it's like in prison, Tony? Can you tell us what it's like in prison, Tony?
Prison's a mixed bag. Structure's quite a mixed bag. It's a constant battle against institutionalisation, as you can imagine. And obviously, Titwank's quite hard to come by.
I'm picking up that you're not alone there, Tony. I'm picking up that you're not alone there, Tony.
Yeah, sorry, my friends are throwing me a surprise party. Yeah, sorry, my friends are throwing me a surprise party.
Okay, well, we're trying to get back to that party as soon as possible. First, let me ask you this. Do you feel that your time spent in prison helped to rehabilitate you in any way, Tony?
Titwank, Tony! I don't think it's as easy as that, Jez. I don't think it's as easy as that, Jez.
Sopen!
I think asking that is an oversimplification.
It sounds like it's getting quite busy there, Tony, but let's try and soldier on. Since leaving custody, have you been able to find a new job?
Yeah, all the boys are here. Big Chris. Yeah, all the boys are here. Chris. Big Chris. And Vampire Chris. Little Chris. And Vampire Chris.
This one, yeah?
Yeah. One sec, love.
Yeah.
On the news. One sec, love. On the news. Rehabilitation's difficult with the current system. Rehabilitation's difficult with the current system. You know, it's inherently unjust. You know, it's inherently unjust.
So, do you feel tempted to... I'm sorry, who's this?
You are joking. Chrissy Freeball has only got Mr. Fancy. Chrissy Freeball only got Mr. Fancy. Not now, fellas, I'm on the news. Not now, fellas, I'm on the news.
It seems like we caught you at a bad time. I
can't really hear you, mate. It's getting a bit busy here. I can't really hear you, mate. It's getting a bit busy here.
Yes, we seem to be losing a signal there, Tony. Well, we're just trying to get that signal back. Tony, Tony, I mean, we're looking at 2 seconds. How does this happen? 2 seconds. Can you hear me? Well, we seem to have lost our train of thought there. Hopefully you, the viewer at home, have managed to gain a broader understanding of the serious and complex issues around law and order. After the break, Megan will be live with some plucky young thespians. Don't go away. We'll be back. Don't go away after these messages.
1 minute back, everybody.
Alan G. Mate, I ain't got long and I'm quite drunk. It's been a great night. In this next section, there's a bit of music. If you edit in time with the music, you can see the result on the Vision Mixer, and the public will love that. Don't worry if you don't, though. You won't get punished for it or nothing. Just try and stay in the groove. Also, one last tip. When the music starts, turn down the broadcast volume. Right, enjoy the music bit. God, I love music. God, I'm so pissed. I think I might go and throw up in a bit.
Alan James, and I'll slap you so hard with the truth, you'll still be picking facts out of your face the following Wednesday.
Alan James, coming to a city near... Check
4,
local press for dates
3.
and times.
Welcome to Black. I'm Megan Wolfe, and on tonight's Culture Spot, I'll be chatting with one of the first beneficiaries of the Assets and Wealth Act, a team of inspiring young people from Scripps Sixth Form College who today received a grant from Advance to take their play, Hey, Friendship, on a tour of local secondary schools. Welcome to you all. Well, let's start with you two, Harriet and Charlotte Winstanley Hamilton. Girls, you must be thrilled.
We are, Megan.
We're overwhelmed, to be honest. And I believe you two are sisters, is that right? Yes, Charlotte's my oldest.
I'm the older, more popular one. I'm the older, more popular one.
Harriet and Trey were really the ones who came up with the whole idea.
Harry and I were shooting the breeze in the cafeteria, and I said, hey, let's actually do something.
So I went to look for a drama teacher.
But she'd been laid off due to budget cuts. Fortunately, I directed a pantomime when I was at university, so I knew the ropes, as it were.
Right, yes, but you're the maths teacher, aren't you?
Yes, that's me. Jeff, algebra, maths teacher.
Maths is really important.
Oh, thanks, Steve.
Maths is really important.
Yeah, thanks, Steve.
As is theatre. It's one of the oldest art forms in history. Aristotle. I just think that when we travel around all these problem schools, when we travel around all these problem schools, they say, hey, I really want to be like those attractive kids. I really want to be like those attractive and powerful thing. Beautiful and powerful. We touch our audiences, and they touch us right back.
I suppose with a surname like algebra, there was really only one choice of career for me. My wife, Angela, and I, we often laugh about it.
Angela Algebra.
Yes.
Angela Algebra.
Yes.
We just want to bring a bit of song and joy into people's lives.
And teach people about the difficult issues. And teach people the issues in the play are what really matter. The issues in the
and
play
I think you're going to be showing us an extract from this play,
aren't
you?
That's right.
From this
Put
play,
into context. That's right. I play a young first year who's having some troubles at school.
Her character doesn't actually have a name, because in a way she's like all of us. She's like
it's like a metaphor. It's like maybe she's you at home, or like maybe she's you, Megan.
Maths is really important.
Yeah, thanks, Steve.
Put it in, coach.
Yes, thanks, Steve.
Put it in, coach.
Right, well,
thanks,
I'm going
Steve.
to have a little chat with your teacher while you run off and get ready. I can't wait to see you run off and get ready. I can't wait to see it. That's it, that way. That's it, that way. So, Jeff, when did you first hear about the grant?
2 days ago. A letter from Advance arrived at the school. Now, the headmaster thought it was all a prank, but his secretary retrieved it from his bin and brought it to me.
How? How did you react?
I also threw it in the bin.
How did you react?
But then Harriet and Trey rescued it, and they rang the number at the bottom of the page, and next thing you know, we're on tour.
Wow. Well, I think we can all guess which way you'll be voting from now on.
Do you know what? It's funny because Angela and I don't usually vote. We're not very political. I'm a mathematician, of course, and she's a paraplegic mainly. But we did used to watch that Peter Clements DIY show back in the day, and so we thought, why not? Let's have a go with this whole democracy thing. Let's have a go with this. And here we ballywell are.
Good stuff.
Fucking brilliant!
So let's have a look at a short section of Hey. At a short section of Hey. Friendship.
Dear Diary. Dear Diary. I'm not sure I can take another day at this school. Another day of tears. Tears. Another day of fears. But still I walk the corridors alone, dreading what might be around every corner.
What's around the corner? What's around the corner? What's around the corner?
Oh, hi Gary.
Oh heavens no! It's Gary the Fist!
Gary the Fist! Going somewhere, little first year?
Great! I've been looking for some poor victim to bully all morning, but will this make me feel better about my violent father?
Violent father. Excuse me, I'm late for maths. It's my favourite subject, and so important.
Maths is for losers.
What?
Maths is for losers.
My arm's stuck, coach.
Keep going, for fuck's sake!
Right, maths is for losers. Now, give me your lunch money. Now,
double lunch for me today, but why am I only truly happy when I'm eating? Why am I only truly happy when I'm eating?
Not today, Gary the Fist. Not today,
What do you mean not today?
Who are you?
What do you mean not today?
My arm's free coat.
Brilliant, keep going.
My arm's free coat.
Brilliant, keep
who
going.
are you to stand up to me? I, Gary the Fist. And you're just a sad little girl with two gay dads who's all alone.
That's where you're wrong, Gary the Fist. That's where you're wrong, These Gary the are my Fist. Two new friends. These Vanessa is captain of the netball team. Vanessa is captain of the netball and Blake owns a motorbike. And Blake owns a motorbike.
But I can't fight all three of you. And I don't have any friends of my own.
Take a look at me. Take a little look at my face. I could be you. She could be you. And you could be me.
Or you could be me.
Life can be peachy keen if you work as a team.
It's my choice to be mean. So stop now, make a different choice.
Listen to that inner voice.
Hey, listen up, I won't take no crap. Who said middle class girls can't rap? I ain't afraid of your crew laps. I'm a mother-loving rebel, but I still love maths.
Hey, kids, I'm Gary the Fist. People think that folks like me probably shouldn't exist. But that's just prejudice, and I'd do better if you knew the way that I became Gary the Fist. I grew up on a council estate. The park was hip, but the flats weren't great. My dad used to come home drunk and late, and he'd hit my mum for dinner, he had to wait. Where's my dinner?
It's not ready.
Where's my dinner, woman?
Go.
Don't make me ask you again.
Hitting women is wrong.
I guess life's pretty hard on a council estate. 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 It's so damn hard to estate.
Life can be peachy keen.
Yeah.
If you work as a team.
Just work as a team.
It's your choice to be me.
It's my choice.
So stop now, make a different choice.
Listen to that inner voice.
Friendship!
Yes!
Well, thankfully that's all we have time for tonight on the National Nightly News. Join us tomorrow night for all the headlines from across the country. My name's Jeremy Dawson. Have a peaceful night.
And we're out.
Oh, that was
Why bother strengthening your
What
body?
the literal
when
fuck
you
was
can
that?
strengthen
I believe
your face.
that was art.
We believe your
I
skin
believe I've got a
deserves the
14-inch
best.
cock, but it
The
doesn't make
new
it so.
formula actively
I have a
removes
similar
harsh
belief about
chemicals from your
adequate
skin.
sea check.
The high salt content actually
someone
pulls the
please get these
dihydrogen
twats out of my
monoxide
studio.
right from your pores to give you the crisp, brittle skin you've come to expect. New Jus de Cochon will revitalize the appearance of the strength of your face's skin. 41% of women we surveyed said they loved their visible flakes, and 7 out of 10 dentists would recommend it. Jus de Cochon, because we said so.
Good evening, I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm Jeremy Dawes. Our main headlines tonight.